Hey everyone, welcome back to Collecting Nolan. This is Russ, and it's that time of the week where we look at the top selling Nolan Ryan cards of the week. Let me just put this out there, guys. This week was rather tough for me to put this video together, and I almost didn't do it at all because I really couldn't verify half these sales. Actually, probably closer to like 80% of the sales on this list. So, I really debated on whether or not doing it for some reason or another. Whatever cards popped up on eBay did not show up on 130 points. So I think you should take these sales prices with a grain of salt, kind of, because half of them I could not verify. But I just wanted to also do the show anyway because it lets us see like what kind of cards are out there and which ones are quote unquote selling, I guess. So again, I wouldn't make any market moves based off of these prices because I just don't know how accurate they are or even if these sales happen in general. So with that, let's get started and look at some Nolans, okay? Number 10 is the 1973 Topps number 220, a PSA 8 that reportedly sold for $775. There are 907 PSA 8 copies of this card out there and only 201 grade higher. Recent sales of a PSA 8 for this card have been between $515 and $690. Number 9 is the 2025 Panini 3-2 Downtown number 14 in a PSA 10 that reportedly sold for $825. There are only 7 graded copies of this card in the PSA database, with 4 of those being PSA 10. The other 3 are PSA 9s. I could find no recent PSA 10 sales of this card, but a raw copy of this card sold in April of this year for $380. Number 8 is the 2025 Topps Heritage Real One Dual Auto Nolan Ryan and Mike Trout redemption card that reportedly sold for $999.99. If this sale is legitimate, this would be the first time a redemption card appears on the show. It doesn't expire until April 30th, 2035, so at least that is legitimate. 2025 Topps Heritage is a 500 card set that was released just last month. It is distributed in 24 pack hobby boxes and 8 cards per pack, or in 17 pack mega boxes. Nolan has 9 cards in this set, including a few cards where he is teamed up with Mike Trout. Number 7 is the 1991 Donruss Elite Legends Series Nolan Ryan out of 7,500 copies in a PSA 9 that sold for $1,214.99. There are only 34 PSA 9 copies of this card in the PSA database and only 6 cards graded higher. If this sale really happened, it would be the highest sale of this card in a PSA 9 ever, and it wouldn't even be close. No recent sales of PSA 9 have been reported. The most recent sale was in March of 2024 for $371. Number 6 is the 2020 Topps Update Baseball Stars Dual Autos Mike Trout Nolan Ryan number 1 out of possible 5 in a BGS 9 that sold for $1,249.95. The 2020 season was shortened by COVID, altering the set in many ways. Nolan had 4 cards in the 2020 Topps Update 300 card set, along with this Baseball Stars dual autograph card with Mike Trout. There were only 12 dual autograph cards in this set. I could find no recent sales of this card for comparison, and of course this week I could not verify the sale on 130 point. Number 5 is the 1969 Topps number 533 in an SGC 8 that sold for $1,700. There are 85 SGC 8 copies of this card and only 37 cards graded higher. If this sale did happen, it would be the highest sale ever for an SGC 8 based off of what I could find. The last SGC 8 sold on my slabs for $1,100 back in August of 2023. Number 4 is the 2005 Upper Deck 4000K Club card signed by Roger Clemens, Nolan Ryan, Steve Carlton, and Randy Johnson in a BGS Authentic that reportedly sold for $1,999. I couldn't certify that this sale actually happened or if the price is accurate. However, a raw copy of this card sold for $1,200 back in March of this year. Number 3 is the 1993 Topps Finest Refractor number 107 in a PSA 9 with an off-center qualifier that sold for $2,839. There are 45 PSA 9s with an off-center qualifier with 8 cards graded higher. If you remember 2 weeks ago, a 1993 Finest Refractor and an SGC6 sold for $1,933.88. Also, at the card show that I went to last week, the PSA 9s of this card were on sale for $5,000. So that gives us kind of like a market estimate. Number 2 is the 1970 Topps number 712 in an SGC 9 that sold for $2,900. Wow, this card is beautiful. It is absolutely perfect centering in the corners, and the colors are very vibrant. It almost looks pack fresh. There are only 18 SGC 9s of this card out there, and only 2 grade higher in the SGC database. The last sale of an SGC 9 copy of this card happened in July of 2024, where it sold on Heritage Auctions for $2,880. Meanwhile, a PSA 9 version of this card sold in March of 2024 for $9,900 on Heritage Auctions and for $10,200 on Fanatics Collect Weekly Auction in January of 2024. And finally, number 1 is the 1968 Topps number 177 Jerry Koosman and Nolan Ryan rookie card and a PSA 7 that sold for $3,365. This card's a stunner, especially for a PSA 7. The centering is only slightly off left to right, and the corners and edges are razor sharp. Just a really nice card. There are 1,730 PSA 7s of the Nolan rookie out there, with 1,441 cards grade higher. I'm not entirely sure if this sale occurred because it does not pop up on 130 point. However, recent sales of a PSA 7 rookie card have been between $3,250 on eBay and $4,940 on Fanatics Collect Fixed Price Marketplace. $4,940 seems a little or a lot high for a PSA 7 at this time in the market. What do you guys think? And that, guys, wraps it up for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.